Le Pen, the leader of the populist right in Parliament. Her party, according to the most recent opinion polls, would be topping any election if it were to be held tomorrow. Now, the third and final option is Emmanuel Macron's own resignation. Marine Le Pen saying on Monday that would be a wise decision. The president has no constitutional duty to resign, and he has stated many times that he wants to remain in office until the end of his mandate. He can stay in position as president until the spring of 2027. But France certainly in uncharted territory.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FS.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. It is a Tuesday, the 7th day of October for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to get back at it here this morning. All of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. With the latest AVCA coaches poll out this morning, and of course, Nebraska remains number one. The Huskers are currently sitting at 14-0 on the season. We'll take a look at the top 10 here this morning. Some honors today for Bergen Riley of Nebraska and Nebraska defensive back Deshaun Singleton. We'll talk about that. The Nebraska football team getting ready to play a road game this Saturday at Maryland. We'll talk a little bit about the Terrapins coming up on the show here this morning. Wyatt Ryan of Hastings College has been named the NAIA Football Defensive Player of the Week for his performance against Northwestern on Saturday. MIAA holding their basketball media days yesterday, and we've got the preseason polls out this morning for both the UNK men and women. Softball tournaments yesterday postponed because of rain. That means we've got softball action coming up for you today involving Hastings St. Cecilia from the C1 Sub-District Tournament out at the Smith Complex. We'll tell you about the schedule there. Major League Baseball, the NFL. We've got the Survivor going to the wire here this morning, as we'll talk about the remaining folks in our Survivor pool. All that and more is coming up as you wake up, get going with us here this morning. Tyson Havronic will join us from the Western Studios at the breakfast table here this morning. Good morning.
8 left, huh?
That's what it says. 8 showing on the big board. 8 people left in the Survivor Series, including me and you.
Yeah.
And we can't win, so there's 6 people that will be vying for the Survivor Championship. Wow.
Championship.
We're down to...
Put it in bunny ear quotes. The championship, if we can't win. But no, what a wacky weekend in the NFL, and it was kind of culminated with a wacky game last night in the Chiefs-Jaguars. I guess we can kind of dive into it. Monday night or Tuesday morning quarterback, armchair quarterback this thing. Chiefs don't have a defense. They need some help, man. They in that last drive, there were so many opportunities and so many mistakes that were made that they couldn't capitalize on defensively. And then you go to that last play. Trevor Lawrence falls to the ground, and the defensive line is standing there and even holding a guy on the play. The pass interference call, like that's elementary stuff. To turn your head and play the ball, but he didn't either, and he ran right through the numbers of the Jacksonville wide receiver. That was an easy pass interference call. That gave Jacksonville another opportunity. Just a comedy of errors down the stretch in a game that you needed to put away. Chiefs need to do a defense.
Yeah, the Chiefs got out to a 14-0 lead. I thought, all right, we're going to cruise through this. They came back and tied it up at 14 points apiece. I thought, oh, boy, here we go. And it was seesaw throughout a lot of the second half. Chiefs eventually grabbed the lead. They're late. And I thought, all right, they're going to win by 4. We'll take that. Chiefs going to win by 4. Well, then we kick the ball off. It goes out of bounds. So Jacksonville gets the ball at the 40-yard line. Mm-hmm. And I forget how much time was left on the clock, not a whole lot. But they engineer a 60-yard drive to score the game-winning touchdown when the quarterback falls down coming out from under center because the right guard steps on his foot, and we can't get him down to stay down. Trevor Lawrence gets up and walks into the end zone for the game winner with 23 seconds to go in the game.
And the Chiefs had the 4-point lead, and I had all but locked up a 5-0 run in the Blazing 5. I thought, here we go, we're up by 4. We got our tutty that we needed. I was with you. I was screaming at the TV for the first time, maybe ever, at why can't the Chiefs make a play? I would have gone 5-0 this week. I missed out on $100. The line 3.5. They had the 4-point converted, and we were good. We were sailing. Everything was breezy. And for the first time, I was a fan of the Chiefs, and it was agonizing and it was awful. And I'm probably going to do it again.
Well, the last 2 times I think you have been on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I've caused you a loss.
You've caused us a loss, so you're not permitted to take the Chiefs anymore in your Blazing 5. That's it. We don't want you on the bandwagon. There's no room on the Chiefs bandwagon for you to join us. You are prohibited.
For your Turtle Club?
Yeah, you are prohibited. You are prohibited from taking the Chiefs ever again in your Blazing 5.
Not turtly enough for your Turtle Club. I see how it is.
So anyway,
fine.
Yeah, we talked about defense, our special teams for the Chiefs. It needs a lot of work. We had 12 penalties last night. It was not good for all of us in Chiefs Kingdom. So the Chiefs, that was the first loss Mahomes had ever suffered to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting at 2-3 in the season. And hell, I don't even know who we play this week.
What's going on in the AFC? Baltimore has 1 win. The Chiefs have 2 wins. Hell, Jacksonville is 4-1.
Yeah, Jacksonville 4-1 after last night.
Buffalo 4-1. Have the mighty fallen? The Baltimores, Kansas City's, and the mainstays, are they going to be able to make a late run? Start winning some games, make a little push here? Has the tables turned in the AFC? Your top dogs, other than Buffalo, are not there. Not even above 500.
Yeah, as we get into, week 6 of the season?
Yeah.
So we're a third of the way through the NFL season. And
a sub-500 record.
Yeah, we've got a lot of question marks for the Chiefs. Give us our thoughts if you like. I know we got a lot of Chiefs people in the lobby and listen to this show. If you'd like to chime in, there's plenty of time to talk to you today. 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to drop us a message on our social media sites, you can. A lot of people already chiming in. Yeah, we're getting right back. But offense is not our problem.
Right.
Defense is our problem. Special teams are our problem. Butker's not even having a good year. Butker's missed 5. Did I hear last night 5 extra points or 5 field goals in the last 4 games? Must be field goals. He's missed 5 field goals in the last 4 games. So, yeah, special teams, defense are the problems for Chiefs. But we do get a couple of weapons back offensively. People are just going to outscore people again, like we did back several years ago. Who cares about our defense? It will score people. We'll have a Xavier Worthy. He got banged up last night with an ankle after he had the shoulder problem.
Right.
So he's a little banged up. We get Rashid Rice back here off of suspension. I think it's next week or the week after. So, I don't know, your thoughts on the Chiefs after Kansas City loses last night to Jacksonville in the Monday night game, 31-28.
Ryan Martin saying way too many dumb mistakes for Kansas City. And I agree. That whole last drive, I think when you let Jacksonville run down the field with 9 seconds on the clock and they complete the one big pass play and then they had that pass interference call in the end zone. And that's elementary secondary play that could have been made that would have resulted in a Chiefs victory. But no, he at no point does he turn his head for the football to play the ball. He just literally drives through the wide receiver trying to make a catch, and well before the ball even got there. That's elementary stuff.
Amber,
he sits at the end of the bench.
Amber's already chiming in on the social media sites. Mm-hmm. Pump the brakes. Buffalo didn't look great either.
I'm not saying Buffalo looked great defensively either. I'm saying some of these teams have some question marks, even at 4-1. But being 4-1 is a hell of a lot better than being 2-3. And you look at it, right? Like, who had the Colts and the Jaguars tied for the best record in the AFC after the first 5 weeks of the season on their big card? Nobody. Yeah, we're in unison there. Nobody. Topsy-turvy in the AFC a little bit. Other than Buffalo. Like, Buffalo's kind of that one team that you had the expectation that was going to be towards the top of the power rankings. And, you're not going to win every week in the NFL. So there's going to be games where you look bad. And I think the Patriots made Buffalo look bad. There was a lot of mistakes in the Buffalo game.
And the Patriots are playing well.
And the Patriots are playing well. New England's going on an upward trend, right? And so with some disciplinary issues that we had to deal with Keon Coleman, and it just wasn't a good week of preparation for Buffalo. Sean McDermott admittingly said it. He said there was a lot of distractions this week, and so you're going to have those weeks in the NFL where you drop games you shouldn't have. They looked awful the first 3 quarters against New Orleans 2 weeks ago, and then picked it up in the last 8 minutes. So they got to start playing games before they realize they're in a football game. You know what I mean? Sometimes it feels like Buffalo needs to get punched in the face to respond. I'd like for teams to punch them in the face a lot sooner so we can get going instead of in the last 8 minutes. But yeah, a lot of interesting notes and a lot of anxious fan bases, I think, as we approach the 6th week of the season.
So Jacksonville wins last night over the Chiefs. Trevor Lawrence, 18 of 25, 220 yards, a touchdown. He added 2 more scores on the ground. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes threw for 318 yards, a touchdown, 1 interception. Also led the team in rushing. That's great that he leads the team in rushing. You don't want your quarterback to lead the team in rushing, though. 60 yards and a touchdown for Mahomes. So,
God. Where's Pacheco?
He didn't have a bad game. They used him in the passing game a whole lot last night. So.
Gotcha.
Cincinnati Bengals head coach Zach Taylor isn't relinquishing one of the team's most important duties, and that's calling plays. He's the head coach and the play caller for the Bengals. Cincinnati suffered their 3rd straight loss, 37-24 to the Lions on Sunday. Cincinnati mustered just 3 points through the first 3 quarters for the 3rd consecutive week. Through 5 games, Cincinnati, which, by the way, is 2-3 on the season, ranks near the bottom of every major offensive statistical category. The Bengals are 30th in points per drive. They are 31st in yards per play. They're tied for 28th in offensive points per game. But Zach Taylor says, hell no, nobody's going to call the plays except for me. So he'll be calling plays for Cincinnati this week when they take on the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay.
The water is starting to boil in Cincinnati, especially with like Jamar Chase. I don't know if you saw his antics in the loss that they had, just visibly shouting on the sidelines. I mean, he's turning into the little Keyshawn Johnson style, give me the damn ball moments. Jamar Chase wants more involvement in the offense, and quite frankly, they just don't have a quarterback that can get him the football. And that's the reality of the situation. Burrow out of that lineup makes that offense anemic. And
Browning is
he's
horrible.
Horrible.
But why didn't Cincinnati have another option to go to?
We talked about that during the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't with just Cincinnati. There was a lot of teams where we were scratching we're like, who's their backup? Like, that's you're investing all of that plan into your quarterback playing 18 games. Baltimore, for example. Like, really? Cooper, he's your best option?
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of teams that get through the entire 18 games without your quarterback missing at least one game.
Right.
There'll be a few, yeah. There'll be a few. But Cincinnati, you got Joe Burrow, who has been injury-prone for the past several years.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you have another option? You've got the Browning guy. And why don't
you can't tell me that was a backup plan?
Yeah, that's the best backup plan that you could come up with as an organization?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. There's a bunch of quarterbacks out there that were in the free agent market during the offseason that were looking to sign with teams, and Cincinnati sat on their asses and didn't do anything. They thought Joe Burrow would make it through, and we wouldn't need a backup quarterback. Well, in week 3, he's out. Now look at you. You're a disaster. You're a fire, train wreck, whatever you want to call it.
Let's go. But then you had NFL teams that didn't even invest in starting quarterbacks. I mean, the New Orleans Saints, they sat around and looked, and were like, we'll be okay with Spencer Rattler as our starter. Let alone who knows who their backup situation is in New Orleans. You had teams like Vegas, who didn't move the meter whatsoever in the quarterback room. They don't have a backup. They're just going to pull somebody from the stands and start slinging it. The lack of investment from NFL teams to a backup quarterback is going to bite several of these teams in the ass this year. The lack of investing, and just in the quarterback room alone, right? I know the guy's the star. I know the guy's not going to play, but if you're going to give a savvy veteran, and I'm just going to shout out names that they're well retired by now, but the last 3 years of Andy Dalton's career, right? Andy Dalton had passed his prime, clearly, but still could go and lead an offense if needed. And so when Bryce Young was having some issues, insert Andy Dalton, have him sling the rock a few times, at least guide your offense to a somewhat respectable outing. No NFL team is invested heavily into the backup quarterback spot. You know, you got to go after your Carson Wentz's. You got to go after your Joe Flacco's. These guys that have been there, and if the waters get rough, can go out there and stabilize things. And I don't think that. I mean, league wide, we made that. Buffalo has a lot invested in Josh Allen, and I swear to God, if Mitch Trubisky sees the field this year. Right? Like, and that's a league-wide epidemic. The lack of faith in the backup quarterback spot for a position that is so fragile that on one sack your entire course of the season can change. And are you just going to tank? Oh, our starting quarterback goes down. I guess we'll play for the number 1 draft pick. That's what Cincinnati's doing right now because Browning can't lead and third string ain't better.
Who is their next quarterback? Don't even know. Nobody knows who the third string quarterback. When you've got the Browning guy as your second string quarterback, he ain't going to pull out the third string. He's not going to play. I think Cincinnati is stuck with who they got.
Well, Cleveland hogged all the quarterbacks. They stuffed 4 in the quarterback room at one point. And 3 of those guys can probably play on the Raiders and let's just throw in the Saints.
Probably the Bengals.
Probably the Bengals.
Probably
anyways.
The Bengals, so. Anyway,
interesting observations.
So Zach Taylor, he's going to keep calling plays if it makes any difference. If it He said he's going to keep calling plays for an anemic offense that is up against the Packers this weekend. So those are some of the things we're just scratching the surface here today. Again, if you'd like to join us, you can on the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. Leave us a message on our social media sites as well. We'll continue to monitor that. Again, we're going to have a softball action coming up today from the Smith Complex. The rain-delayed C1 Subdistrict Softball Tournament is going to be held today. At noon, Imperial Chase County will play Highway 91. The winner will play St. Cecilia at 2 this afternoon. In the other game at 2, it'll be Wilbur-Claytonia against Milford. Then the winners will play at 4 o'clock in the finals this afternoon. We're going to be on hand. We'll have the St. Cecilia games for you here on Extreme Sports. 1:50 starting time this afternoon. There were some sub-district tournaments that were played yesterday despite the rain. Twin River, Centura, and NEN won the sub-district championships on Monday, so they'll move on to the district championships coming up later on this week. But we'll get started with the C1. We'll get started and we'll end the C1 Subdistrict Softball Tournament today at the Smith Complex, and we'll have the action for you today on Extreme Sports. Hastings High will play in the B6 Subdistrict Tournament on Thursday, and likewise we'll be on hand to bring you the Hastings High games on Thursday. Russ Kindig chiming in. Yeah, we know the Niners backup quarterback, Adrian Martinez. I think he got in for a play or two last week. Yeah, Purdy is on the shelf, so they have their backup going out in San Francisco. So, yeah, backup quarterback's kind of our center of discussion here today as Cincinnati continues to struggle in that role. What else is going on? Major League Baseball playoffs from yesterday. The Dodgers beat Philadelphia 4-3. The Dodgers lead the series 2-0. Milwaukee defeated the Cubs last night, score of 7-3. So the Brewers lead that series 2-0. Tonight we're back to the American League Divisional Series. Seattle at Detroit and Toronto at the New York Yankees.
Absolute must-win scenario if you're the New York Yankees. Can't go down in that 3-0 hole, and it's still wild to me how the New York media market, despite making the postseason, despite beating the rival Sox, despite moving on into this next divisional matchup, being in the ALDS, how they still called the season an utter failure. And the way that the shouting for Coach Boone, just being down 2-0 to Toronto, I mean, just shouting for his dismissal. I mean, you're one of the 4 best teams left in the American League, but it's not good enough in that New York media market. St. Louis would gladly switch you spots. Yes, to keep the dogs away for a little bit for Coach Booney, it's a must-win for the Yankees. They can't fall 3-0. And then that 1-1, it's a toss-up right now in that Seattle-Detroit series. Love both teams and the way they're playing ball at the moment. Detroit's really recovered after their late slide that they had, just barely sneaking into the postseason. Now that they're in, they've kind of corrected course. They've looked locked in at times. Seattle's offense can go off at any time. That's a 50-50 game for me, so that'll be interesting to watch.
All right, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, coming up on 7:24.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Start off in Omaha, where an Omaha police officer is in stable condition after being shot in the line of duty yesterday morning. Omaha police responded to reports of a disturbance at a Quick Trip, where Officer Stephen Murrick, a 16-year veteran with the OPD, responded. 36-year-old Shedrick Mills was asked to leave the property but refused. When Officer Murrick attempted to handcuff him, Mills allegedly resisted and drew a handgun, shooting Murrick in the head. Murrick returned fire and took cover behind his patrol car. Mills fled and was located at a McDonald's, where he was arrested facing multiple charges, including attempted second-degree murder, use of a weapon to commit a felony, and being a prohibited person in possession of a firearm. Meanwhile, fall time, well, it's also the time for more deer. Crops are being harvested. Deer breeding season is in full swing, and the harvesting of crops could push deer out of the area and toward a road or highway. The Nebraska Game and Parks Department and says you should anticipate the possibility of a deer on the road. Be prepared to stop suddenly, but know when braking too sharply or swerving may cause you to lose control and roll the vehicle. And so always wear your seatbelt. More tips on how to avoid deer and drive and navigate the Nebraska roadways in the fall, all available at the Nebraska Game and Parks website. 5 minutes until 8 o'clock. Let's swing things back over to you, Mike. What's going down in sports?
What time is it?
7:25.
No, you said 5 minutes till 8 o'clock.
5 minutes till 7:30. Whatever.
Whatever. I didn't want anybody to have a heart attack or something listening to the show. And
Still plenty of time to get to school, kids.
Yeah, I'm late. In sports, Nebraska remains number one in the latest AVCA coaches poll. The Huskers are 14-0 in the season. Texas is second, followed by Kentucky, Pittsburgh, and Louisville. Rounding out the top 10 are Stanford, Wisconsin, Arizona State, Texas A&M, and SMU. Purdue is 12th. Minnesota is 14th. Penn State is 19th. Indiana is 20th, and USC is number 22. Creighton checks in at number 13. Bergen Riley of Nebraska has been named the Center of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. In a sweep of Penn State last week, Riley had 26 assists, 8 digs, 3 blocks, 2 kills, and an ace as the Huskers hit a season-high 437. Nebraska defensive back Deshaun Singleton has been named the Defensive Player of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. Singleton had 6 tackles and a pair of interceptions in the Huskers' 38-27 win over Michigan State last week. The Nebraska football team will play at Maryland this Saturday. The Terrapins are 4-1 in the season after losing to Washington last week 24-20. Maryland beat Nebraska 13-10 in their last meeting in 2023 in Lincoln. Kickoff for the game this week will be at 2:30 on BTN. Wyatt Ryan of Hastings College has been named the NAIA Football Defensive Player of the Week for his performance against Northwestern on Saturday. Ryan posted a pair of tackles for loss and returned an interception, 5 yards for a touchdown in Saturday's 10-9 win. The Broncos are off this weekend. They'll play host to Concordia on October the 18th, beginning at 1 o'clock. The Nebraska Kearney women's basketball team has been picked to finish 5th this year in the MIAA. The Lopers finished 20-9 last season. Pittsburgh State is the media's favorite to win the championship this year. Fort Hays State is the favorite among the coaches. The UNK men are picked to finish 6th this year in the MIAA. The Lopers were 12-16 last year. Defending regular season and tournament champion Washburn is the favorite in both polls to win the championship again this season. Both Loper teams will start the season on November the 6th in Billings, Montana. C1 Subdistrict Softball Tournament will be held today out at the Smith Complex at noon. Imperial Chase County will play Highway 91. The winner will play St. Cecilia at 2. In the other game, Wilbur-Claytonia will play Milford at 2. The winners will play in the finals at 4. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports today, beginning at about 1:50 this afternoon. Twin Rivers, Centura, and NEN won sub-district championships on Monday. That's a check on your sports headlines at 7:28 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Tuesday, the sunshine returns and we get slightly warmer and not as soggy as it was on Monday. Hey everybody, Tim Jones with your forecast. 65 and sunny. We'll have light winds out of the north-northeast at about 5 miles per hour. 46 the overnight low tonight with clear skies. Then 64 and mostly sunny Wednesday. Then we're back to the 70s as we head into the weekend. 78 Thursday, Friday we're right at 80. And by the time we get to the weekend, we're back in the low 80s.
As you wake up, get going this morning. North winds at 6. We've got clear skies. It is 44 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
I'm John Butler, Funeral Director and Owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Wells, Science Center Product with you. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Tuesday, the 7th day of October for 2025. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number, 402-834-1330, if you want to chime in on anything that we've talked about here this morning.
Who's calling you? Your phones are ringing over there.
Yeah, my phone is ringing.
Uh-huh.
It's
You want to put it on speaker?
No, we were supposed to talk with Mick McDowell.
Yeah.
With the Miletta Vista Winery up in St. Paul. Yeah, Mick needs to call us on the fan line.
I was trying to call your cell phone.
Call him on my cell phone.
I'll let you get in touch and handle that. Well, we talk about some days today. If you can correctly get him in line for the studio. National Taco Day today for all you taco lovers. Woohoo! It is also National LED Light Day. Okay. National Bring Fruit to Work Day today. For all you fresh fruit lovers, Chocolate Covered Pretzel Day. It's National Flower Day. And National Bathtub Day today. which is always weird. Like, I haven't taken a bath in 1,000 years because it's just gross. I don't like sitting in the bathtub with my own filth. So those are all the days today.
You talked about National Taco Day today?
It's National Taco Day today. Are you a hard shell or a soft shell guy?
I guess soft shell. Soft shell. I'd have to say. I'd say lock it in. Yeah, soft shell.
Soft shell. Soft shells
lock it in.
They're easier to eat in the car when you're traveling. Although I don't know why you would get tacos while traveling. That just sounds like a bad idea. But I'm actually the best of both worlds kind of guy. So I get the Taco Bravo from Taco John's. It's the soft shell and the hard shell. The cheesy gordita crunch at Taco Bell, same thing. It's like a soft shell and a hard shell wrapped together in refried bean goodness. It's amazing. That's my taco of choice. So, we're getting Mick lined up over there. Getting them all sorted out.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That's the goal. Gonna wax poetically on the NHL while you line this up. NHL season starts tonight, everybody. Get excited and pumped up. We've got the Blackhawks and the Panthers. Puck will drop at 4 p.m. That game will air on ESPN. Chicago Blackhawks coming in after a miserable season. Little E might know that the season might start and end tonight. He's a big Chicago Blackhawks supporter. Also, the Penguins and the Rangers, they'll fire it up at 7 o'clock. All these matchups on ESPN. It's a triple header, 4, 7, 9:30. I'm anxious as all be to get the hockey season underway. Avs and Kings also going to be the nighttime contest at 9:30 over from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. So looks like Mick McDowell is ready to roll as we get him on the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. And a good morning to Mick McDowell from Maleta Vista Winery joining us here on Huddle Up. Mick, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing well here on this Tuesday morning. It's nice fall, crisp, cool weather finally starting to greet the area, and brought you on the program specifically here, Mick, to talk about some fun events that you've got coming up here in October and early November, and a murder mystery of sorts that's right in my wheelhouse, man. The day the internet died. I love the concept. Walk us through what's going on.
You know, it's an event where the participants actually come from the audience. So the guests that come, and if they don't want to participate, they don't have to. But we have a script. Their parts are highlighted. They get up and, become the actor or actress for the day. And it's so much fun, and it's crazy. But this play takes a little different twist on it. It's the day that the internet died, and it really is a funny little spoof about a small town, basically, people that I don't know what they did to the internet. I didn't read it all my life, but she reads me some of these lines, and it is so funny. So if they want to come, have some great food, have wine, beer, spirits, we've got them all available. They can go online, buy their tickets, and then they come dressed in costume, because the 18th of October actually would be like a pre-Halloween party. So they could have a dress-up party, and it's just a wonderful event.
So you've got this thing going on twice coming up here, October the 18th and November the 8th are the dates. So again, tickets are available right now. You kind of have a limited seating up there, so if you're interested in this thing, get your tickets now and make sure you've got a spot. Is that right?
Exactly. And we still have need of about 30 tickets on October 18th. So, and I can't remember if we got a bye week that week on the football. It doesn't really much matter because you're going to have so doggone much fun at this place. It is just crazy. We do this twice a year, basically. In the fall, right before Christmas season really gets erratic and crazy and goofy, and then we'll do it again in March, April. And so this is the fall opportunity to have a great time. Come up early, enjoy the view. I'm just watching the sun come up over the hills right now. This is fall is a wonderful time to be able to come up here to the Maleta Vista and enjoy our spot during the daylight hours. And then after dark, you're going to have a great time with this murder mystery.
Mick, you mentioned some great food that's going to be on tap here for this murder mystery event. Can you walk us through the menu? Can you get my my palate going here and get my tummy rumbling early in the morning? What's on the menu?
Well, for those, I'm going to actually have to go to the website, I guess, to pull that up and make sure that I know exactly what's there. I wasn't as prepared as I probably should be here. But I know that there's always a sirloin steak. For those that want steak, there will be steak available for them. And then there will be a chicken option, and I think we've got a pork chop option this time here. I am trying to get there right now. Murder mystery. Here we go. Isn't this crazy? But what we do is we'll eat between acts. So we'll have the first act, and we'll have like an appetizer, and I think she's either got a shrimp or some appetizer that is. Here we go. Click here for tickets and menu. That is on the menu, and then so it's like $55 per person. That includes the appetizer and the entree. So you get either ribeye steaks. They'll be cooked to temperature. They'll be medium rare. Everybody gets to be the same. And we've got characters like the mayor, Wilson. We've got Erica, who's the personal paparazzi. Agnes, she dares the kids to knock on her door. I think he's got in, but she's a retired spy, and she takes a pretty active role in this whole thing. Clarice, you deserve a medal for surviving the daily parade of entitled demands. Derek, you like to wear a bag on your head, and you're a bag-wearing mystery man. Buck, he's humble pet shop employee, and Harriet, she's poor Harriet. You're living the double duty grind. The sheriff, and then Betty walks into the store entertaining the gladiator arena, armed with screenshots, coupon codes, and expired in 2017. So it's really quite fun. You get to pick your tickets, or you get to pick your seating. There's certain tables that you can sit at, so if you got a group of 4 or 6, and if the table's not full, we will make sure that it gets full here, just so that we've got a good crowd, and so that's kind of the story there. It looks like that's about all. But I tell you, the food is always good up here. I hear that all the time. We have 2 gals that have cooked for, I think, 20 years apiece, and they always make sure that our food is excellent. So you get a nice appetizer, then you'll have your main entree after the first act, and then after the second act, we go on into desserts. And so you get a pretty complete meal, and it's a great time. So come dressed up in costume. If you want to have a part, you can look at these parts and you can kind of see what they are. You can let us know ahead of time, and that helps us. And if not, we just pick people out of the crowd, and it's fun because I never have a shortage of people that are wanting to take part, and that's really cool.
This is a murder mystery dinner. Again, 2 dates on October the 18th and again on November the 8th. It's up at the Moleta Vista Winery just north of St. Paul. But talk about tickets. How do they go about getting tickets?
If you go to our website, which is Moleta, Miletta, winery.com, and then go to the events section, and then there's it'll take you to the ticket spice area, and you can scroll down through the description of the event. You can select the dates, you can select how many tickets, and then put in your credit card, and which is secure, and reserve your seats. Just that easy.
Once again, Mick McDowell from La Vista Winery joining us here on Huddle Up this morning. You mentioned fall, the perfect time to come out and check out the Moleta Vista Winery, enjoy a glass of wine, enjoy the beautiful views. With the fall season and the nights getting shorter, is the hours of operation at Moleta Vista going to change any from the summer?
No, it'll stay the same. 11:30 on to 11:30 a.m. until 9 o'clock on Friday, Saturday, and on Sunday it's 11:30 till 3. We serve lunches on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then during the week, 11:30 to 3 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And no lunches available because the cooks that we have other jobs. And you're able to come in, have meat, cheese trays, and or wine or spirits. So hours will stay the same. You just have to kind of adjust your time. I noticed when we were coming back from Donovan last night from a grandson's football game, sundown was about 7 o'clock. So you got to take that into consideration if you're wanting to get up here and enjoy sunset.
All right, Mick McDowell again has been our guest here on Huddle Up. The Murder Mystery Dinner is coming up October the 18th and November the 8th with the holidays and everything coming up here before we know it, Mick. Is that a good point to maybe hang out up there together maybe for a little holiday gathering?
Well, thank you for asking. Yeah, we've got a lot of things that are coming up if you're members of the Wine Club. The 25th of October, we have a Wine Club members picnic party, and we have some events for Wine Club members at that. And then I think November 22nd, it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, is our holiday open house. So we'll have music at Amber and Oak. You can come up from 2 to 5. We'll have, I think, about 6 or 8 vendors, and all those guests are also on our website on the events page. And you'll be able to see who's coming, and you buy some gifts. You can buy some wines at discounted prices on the 22nd, and those are the 2 big events that we've got coming up. And then just make sure that you've got wine for the dinner table on these holidays. We've got some really nice new dry whites that are coming out. We've always got sweet wines, but the new Saval and the new Itasca are extremely smooth, well-balanced, and they'll pair up very nice with the best class and gold medal awards that we won throughout the summer. And so we've got a lot to offer people here if you're wanting to try some Nebraska wines. So we actually did have 2 best of class in Los Angeles here this year, which was really exciting.
So was it a good year for the grapes and for the winery this summer?
You know, it really was. We had a lot of rain. We had over 33 inches of rain, I think, during the summer months, which, didn't stress things, which is nice. The plants were healthy. The fruit was good. Our crop load was great. Ripening was good. The numbers were great. So when we say numbers, we're talking pH. We're talking about total acidity and tartaric acids and things you learn about. I'm just a corn farm boy, from north of Hastings there by Trumbull, Nebraska is where I grew up. So I had to teach myself all this stuff. But you learn so much about, pH of wines, and, whites are, 3.3, and reds are supposed to be 3.6 pH. And so you go through all that, and the fruit came in really nice this year. I think we should have some good vintages, and those will be available pretty much after the first of the year. But we're just in the process of tank settling and fining and doing all the things that we have to do on the manufacturing side of wine.
All right, Mick, thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us, and we'll check in again throughout the year with you. You got a lot of good events coming up here toward the end of the year, and if people want to find out about them, go to your website again. All the information is right there. So thanks for spending some time with us, and you can get back to work, huh?
Exactly right. Hey, while I've got you guys at Sports Extreme on the line here, what happened to the Chiefs last night? I'm not kind of a fan. Doggone it, or are they going to be doing chasing 3 like the Huskers?
Yeah, we talked about their problems in the first half hour, and there are many problems that we discussed, Mick. So hopefully the Chiefs going to get her figured out here.
I hope so. By golly, Mahomes is so fun, and they've got so many weapons. But thank you, guys. Appreciate talking to you.
All right, thanks. Mick McDowell from Molena Vista Winery. Again, all their events are listed on their website. Great place to go if you want to hang out. Something different to do. Head up to the Molena Vista Winery. They're located just north of St. Paul. So just a quick little drive up there. Great place to head. Maybe grab yourself a Christmas gift or 2. Some bottles of wine from Molena Vista Winery. put it on your list.
Said grab yourself a Christmas gift. That would be like Merry Christmas to me.
Merry Christmas
and Merry
to
Christmas to me again. That's what happens when I go holiday shopping for my friends, especially since I do have a lot of friends that love the craft beer and love some of the First Street brews. But I'll buy them a growler, and then by the time I get to delivering the growler, it's like half gone because it sat in my fridge, and then I got to do it all over again. But wine, beer, they make for easy holiday shopping. And we've got some great selections in the area, and especially over there at Melita Vista Winery.
All right, 7:49, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. We've talked about the Chiefs' problems in the first half hour of the show today, some NFL football. Let's talk a little Husker football. Nebraska getting ready to play at Maryland. I guess our first really true road game. Yeah, I know we went to the Kansas City to begin the season against the Cincinnati, but now, we hop on the plane now and officially fly to a road game at Maryland this Saturday. Husker head coach Matt Rule gives us a little thumbnail on what to expect out of the Terps this week.
They've got good players. I mean, they got a dynamic young quarterback, five-star recruit who's athletic, but who is a passer. When you have that combination of you're a passer first and you look to throw, but you're also athletic, it extends plays. They hit a lot of deep balls. Their wideouts 1, 4, and 5 can run. 5 can really run, so they're explosive. That it's the passing game for them that's really opened up, and they can run the football too. Don't get me wrong, but it's just there are some challenges there. We're a pretty good pass defense, so it should be a good matchup. Then you flip it, they have a bunch of high-effort rushers that are relentless, and so their pass rush is pretty elite, which is why they're so good on third down. And we just talked about our ability to create and build and defend a great pocket. So that'll be a key matchup there. And then special teams. We've blocked 3 kicks this year. Jameer Khan has, I think he has a block and a tipped, so that's 2 blocks for him, I guess. Every week I go into Eck, I'm like, hey, I want to block a punt. I want to block punts. We're doing a great job of returning them, but, trying to find ways, design ways to block punts. They do a great job special teams-wise, but Eck will always find a way. And Jameer, when you have 2 block punts in your first 5 games at this level, was it 5 games, right? That's pretty impressive, and so we'll continue to try to find ways to get Jameer open. Jacory's doing a good job returning, so just continue to build off what we're doing special teams-wise, which will be a key factor in a game like this.
Again, Maryland 4-1 in this season. They're coming off of a loss to Washington last week, 24-20. Last time these 2 teams got together, 2023 in Lincoln. Maryland kicked a last-second field goal to beat the Huskers by the score of 13-10. So Nebraska playing at Maryland this Saturday. Kickoff will be at 2:30. You'll be able to see it on BTN.
Opening line at 6.5-point favorites for Nebraska. I expect that to be a hard 7 by kickoff. But here's the thing: Maryland's not a horrible football team, but they don't move the meter much for me. And these are games just like with Michigan State, where I'll say it again: these are games that you have to put in the win column if you're going to be a championship caliber football team. This is one of those games. We just got to put I don't care how we do it. I don't care how pretty it looks. I don't care how many points we win by. You just want to win at the end of the day. And that's all we care about here. Washington needed to come from behind to beat Maryland. Washington did not look good early. Maryland had a pretty firm grip on that game until the second half. So Washington's comeback victory there. Maryland's beat Wisconsin by 17. Now, obviously, Wisconsin has fallen off the face of the Big Ten in terms of being that powerhouse that they were attempting to build into. They've fallen on rough times. They beat a FCS team in Townsend and squeaked by Northern Illinois out of the MAC. So their numbers aren't flashy. That's not overly impressive, but you still got to take 4-1 seriously. You still got to take 4-1 seriously. So 3 or by 30, I don't care. Let's just get the dub.
Maryland, by the way, had a 20 10-0 lead over Washington last week before the Huskies came back and scored 24 unanswered points to win that game. So
good pullback.
Yeah, that was a great comeback by Washington. Anyway, yeah, Maryland, it's a team that you can't take for granted. Yep. We're not going to go down there and kind of go through the motions and get out of there with a win.
Yep.
We're going to have to play football.
Mm-hmm.
Going to have to play football. Maybe not our A game. We don't need our A game every single week.
Why not? Let's bring the A game every single week. I want. I'm ready to get into the mentality of we come in with a game regardless of opponent. Because how many times have we watched us just kind of methodically go through the motions, and then all of a sudden we got 2 minutes left, and we find ourselves in a football game where we have to make a play, and we can't make that play. I'm ready to A game all day. A game up.
In a perfect world, that happens, but there's peaks and valleys in every college football season.
Alabama brings A game every day.
Kinda.
Oregon brings their A game every day.
Alabama's lost a couple of games. They didn't bring their A game.
They still played championship caliber football. They just lost. Make mistakes. Things happen.
Yeah.
But you bring A game all day, and once we start doing that, like Ohio State's, the Michigans, the ones that bring that championship caliber mentality, the ones that look at a Maryland and be like, "Oh, we gonna crush you." Not, we're going to find ourselves in a dogfight with you with 2 minutes left to go and may the best team win. I'm getting so tired of that mentality. Man, I want to go in and I want us to look the opponents in the across the eye and say we're going to throttle. We are going to crush you, and we are going to put our foot on the throat and absolutely stomp. And you will not be able to breathe. And that's the mentality that I want every single day. And I think this team is fully capable of doing that.
You're ready to run through the brick wall this morning.
Let's go.
You're ready to run through the brick wall. You better have another cup of.
We're 4-1. I mean, we're 4-1 with a team that was 2-3 last year, and so that has me excited. And this is a huge stretch.
Yeah, it is.
This is a big stretch of football for this fan base, for this team. And I'm telling you, man, the fan base, we have to. We're going through the motions just like Nebraska football is right now. Like, we're learning how to win again. And it hasn't looked really pretty. And I've seen some comments on social media and some stupidity that starts to unravel itself in the second quarter. Like, calm the hell down and get behind this team. It doesn't do any good having the negativity. When we're what else do you want us to do? We're in a football game at half and you're booing. That you weren't impressed with the run of play and the execution, but that doesn't mean boo. I also understand the flip side of the coin, right? Where you're not happy and you want them to perform better, and they should take that criticism. He had a cut yesterday talking about the boos, talking about the fans that were booing, and he was basically like, yeah, I'm all for it. If you're seeing that we're not executing, then let us know we're not executing. And they pay their right, and they pay their $12 beers. I think he was he was quoted as saying, and he's right. But at the same time, like, we have to get used to being a winning football team again, and we got to act like we've been there before.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Mills was asked to leave the property but refused. When Officer Merck attempted to handcuff him, Mills allegedly resisted and drew a handgun, shooting Merck in the head. Merck returned fire and took cover behind his patrol car. Mills fled and was then located at a McDonald's nearby, where he was arrested. and facing multiple charges, including attempted second-degree murder, use of a weapon to commit a felony, and being a prohibited person in possession of a firearm. Meanwhile, a note to motorists: fall means more deer. Fall is the time of the year when deer are more active, crops are being harvested, and deer breeding season in full swing. The harvesting of crops pushing the deer out of the area towards the roads or highways, as motorists should anticipate the possibility of a deer on the road in Nebraska. Prepare to stop suddenly, but know that braking too sharply or swerving may cause you to lose control and roll your vehicle. Thus, always wear your seatbelt this time of year. More driving tips with deer in roadway available at the Nebraska Game and Parks website. That's like the Midwestern I love you is watch for deer. Instead of like be careful. Like we just get watch for deer around our household. So,
right.
Anyways, it's now 8 o'clock. What's going down in sports?
Nebraska remains number one in the latest AVCA coaches poll. Huskers are 14-0 in the season. Texas is second, followed by Kentucky, Pittsburgh, and Louisville. Rounding out the top 10 are Stanford, Wisconsin, Arizona State, Texas A&M, and SMU. Purdue is 12th, Minnesota is 14th, Penn State 19th, Indiana 20th, and USC is number 22. Creighton checks in at number 13. C1 Subdistrict Softball Tournament going to be held today out at the Smith Complex at noon. Imperial Chase County will play Highway 91. The winner will play St. Cecilia at 2. In the other game, Wilbur-Claytonia will play Milford at 2. Winners will play in the finals at 4 this afternoon. We'll have the action today here on Extreme Sports beginning at about 1:50 this afternoon. Twin Rivers, Centura, and NEN won sub-district championships on Monday. NFL last night, Jacksonville beat Kansas City 31-28. That's a check on your sports headlines at 8:01 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Tim does play today. It's going to be nice. It's going to be sunny today, and the high is going to be upper 60s. That's short to the point. North winds this morning at 6. Clear skies. It is 44 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
Join us at Maletivus Winery for The Day the Internet Died, a hilarious mystery dinner that you become a part of. Hey, this is Mick inviting you to get your tickets for 2 unforgettable nights, October 18th and November 8th. Gather your friends, enjoy a great meal, crack the case before dessert. Seating is limited, so get your tickets today at MaletivisWinery.com. And don't miss the mystery that everyone will be talking about, The Day the Internet Died. Get your tickets online at MaletivisWinery.com, St. Paul, Nebraska.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
All right, huddle up on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday. Get a softball coming up today. Get on the air at about 1:50 this afternoon. St. Cecilia, the number 1 overall seed in the Class C, will take Imperial Chase County or Highway 91 in the first game of 2. If they win that game, they'll play at 4 o'clock against either Wilbur, Claytonia, or Milford. We'll have that game for you as well. So hopefully a couple of softball games coming up today here on Extreme Sports, beginning at 1:50 this afternoon. So hockey starts tonight.
Hockey starts tonight. Hockey season, although the Blues are not in action, so can we say it really starts? But yeah, the puck drops. A triple header on ESPN. They'll run action 4 o'clock all the way until the nightcap, which I know you'll be over the nerdy puck drop over there all around LA.
Not a chance. You've also got Major League Baseball playoff nights. American League Division Seattle at Detroit, Toronto at the New York Yankees. So what's going on in your TV slate? What's going on today? If you listen to the show today, you can put it on the podcast. Go to our social media sites and download the podcast and the show again. You can always do that. So if you missed one of our shows during the week, you can always do that. Just wait a couple of minutes after 8 o'clock, and it'll be up and available on your podcast. Make plans to be here each and every day, though, at 7 o'clock. I'd like to have you join us at the breakfast table, so to speak, to talk sports. So have yourself a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow morning here on Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.